Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about brake test on DC shunt motor. So before that, we know that after completion of this topic, so what is braking of DC motor? How to conduct brake test on DC shunt motor? Their characteristic performance and how to solve these problems when we are taking the reading from this experiment. When we are going to the laboratory, we will take the reading and how to solve the performance of the performance characteristics of the DC shunt motor. So here initially we are discussing here what is braking. Running motor may be brought to rest quickly by either mechanical braking or electrical braking. The mechanical braking is applied by means of mechanical brake shows. Then the smoothness of a mechanical braking is depend on the surface and physical conditions of brakes. Smooth braking of a motor can be achieved by electrical braking. Here we can discuss about electrical braking. Electric braking is usually employed in application to stop a unit driven by motors in an exact position to have the speed of the driven unit suitably controlled during the deceleration. Electric braking is used in applications. Electric braking is used where the frequent, quick and accurate or emergency stops are required. Electrical braking are used. In this case, electrical braking allows the smooth stops without any inconvenience to passengers. When a loaded hoist is lowered, electric braking keeps the speed within safe limits. Otherwise, the machine or drive speeds will reach the dangerous values. When a train goes down a steep gradient, electrical braking is employed to hold the train speed within the prescribed safe limits. Electrical braking is more commonly used where active loads are applicable. In spite of electrical braking, the braking force can also be obtained by using mechanical brakes. Further point of view, braking is used in case of the DC motors. Right here I am going to discuss about brake test on DC shunt motors. How to we are conducting the brake test on DC shunt motor? So which is a direct test useful to the find efficiency of small DC motor. Further point of view, we are conducting brake test on DC shunt motor. The output power of the DC motor is measured by applying brake to a pulley. One rope is wound around the pulley and its two ends are attached to the spring balances W1 and W2. One end of the rope is slack side and other end is tight side. It means that we can tie the rope from one end. The tension of the rope can be adjusted by using the swivels until the ammeter at the input side shows full load current. So let us see in the diagram brake test on DC shunt motor. Here we are observing circuit diagram. So here this is a DC supply, which is connected across this voltage V. In line there is a ammeter which is carry the load current connected to the L. You have 3-point starter. L loads, F field, A is armature. And you can see the field winding which is connected a variable rheostat in series with the field winding F1 and F2. So there is a F1 and F2 is located here. You can see that from the diagram. Field winding is F1 and F2, and armature winding which is having A1 and A2, which is connected to the armature A. On shaft there is a drum which is connected weights. So here you can observe V is measured by the supply voltage, A is measured the line current connected in line with the load. So initially there is a current which is minimum, there is a field variable rheostat is minimum in position. So current is passed through the field winding which is produced fluxes. By adjusting this variable rheostat, there is a additional resistance is inserted in series with the field winding, which is caused to reduce the field current, which is caused to reduce the fluxes. Then the speed of this armature is increases. So what is that? The load current which is also here divided towards the field current passed through the armature winding. At this maximum position, variable rheostat is at maximum position, means there is a current which is passed some part to the armature and some part to the field. If it is the minimum, there is a, if it is resistance is minimum position, maximum current will pass through the field winding and part of the minimum current will pass to the armature. By adjusting this field, you can change the fluxes armature current will cause to produce the speed increase in armature. So this observation makes, and under no load condition, when pulley is connected across the brake drum of this motor, by varying this, there is a load is increased. When load is increased, speed is decreases, load current is increases. So here load current is inversely proportional to speed of the armature. We are noted the readings of V is always constant. By variation we are observing there is another ammeter is connected in series with the here another field which is noted the field current. So by varying, so this is W1 and W2 readings also you can note it. By applying the load, you can, there is a change in the spring balances. So this is here you can note W1 and W2 and both the readings, whatever the how many readings you are taken, you can note the slip rings weights W1 and W2 by applying when we are applying the load. So here armature current is decreased, load current is increases, and there is a variation also we are observing in case of the field current which is connected in series with field. So you can note when you are conducting the brake test, the parameters are V supply voltage, I full load current, W1 is spring balance reading in kgs, W2 spring balance reading in kg, R is radius of the pulley in meter, N speed of the motor in RPM. So what we are observing by conducting this test, brake tests are used in case of the DC motors, DC shunt motors. There is a variable rheostat which is connected in series with the field winding, and across this there is a armature winding which is connected to LTA terminal. There is a 3-point starter we are used in case of this test. LFA. L is the line directly we are connected, and positive terminal of the line we are connecting the L. F is connected to the field winding which is inserted the variable rheostat in series with this field winding, and there is the armature which is also connected to the terminal A. Let us see, and we are observing that when supply is given, initially there is a resistance which is you are keep the position minimum or maximum. When you are keeping this maximum position, there is a minimum current passed through the field winding, which is produce the minimum fluxes under no load condition. Then machine will be rotated maximum speed. Thus the n is equal to 1500 rpm. So approximately n is equal to 1500 rpm. Not exact I'm going to say. And A terminal which is connected to the armature, and the part of that current will be passed through the armature winding. When you are adjusting the applied load on the spring, the spring which is connected on the pulley, so current on brake drum. So when we are applying the load, there is a load is increased means speed decreases, then the load current is increases. That is you are going to note. Under low load condition, load current as well as field current, because of you are insert either ammeter in series with the field winding. By varying the adjustable rheostat, you can note the field current also as well as you can note load current. So you can change gradually, you can apply the load. There is a change in the speed we are observing, change in the load current we are observing. And also the spring balances S1, S2 also you can note. So here when you are conducting this test, you can note these values. One, voltage V is constant, load current IL, field current, and the speed of the DC shunt motor under no load condition when the load is applied at that condition. So by applying the load, you can note the readings: load current, field current, and the speed and spring balances W1 and W2. Then you can calculate torque, output, and input power. These are gives performance of the DC shunt motor when you are conducting brake test on a DC shunt motor. Here you can say calculation of torque, sharp torque on the shaft. Sharp torque developed by the motor TSH, which is equal to force into radius of the pulley. TSH is equal to F into R. We know that what is F? Force, that is spring balance difference. W1 minus W2 into R kg meters. This kg is which is converted into a 9.81 times newtons. So now we can write the equation of the sharp torque developed by the motor. TSS is equal to 9.81 W1 minus W2 into R Newton meters. That is the sharp torque developed on the motor. Next, you can calculate motor output power P0. You cannot. So here, motor output power P0 is equal to sharp torque into angular frequency, that is speed. So TSH into omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60 watts. Separate these terms, 2 pi by 60 into 9.81 W1 minus W2 into R into N speed, which is equivalent to 1.02 into W1 minus W2 into R into N. This is the equation for the output. P output is equal or output power is equal to 1.02 into W1 minus W2 into R into N. So here W1 and W2 is the weight of the spring balances, two springs, and R is the radius of the pulley, N is the speed of the DC motor. So we can, by using this equation, we can calculate the output power of a DC motor. And another one is we can calculate the input power also, which is equal to V into I. Therefore, you know that output power, you are calculating output power and input power. Now you are going to calculate the efficiency of the motor, which is gives under full load, efficiency of motor at full load, output power by input power into 100%. So what is output power by input power? You know that output power 1.02 into W1 minus W2 into R into N divided by VI into 100%. So then you will get the efficiency of the motor. And when you are conducting the load brake test on DC shunt motor, so there is a observation table. You can note here. So this is the supply voltage, input current, spring weight W1, spring weight W2, speed in RPM, radius of the rope. So all this value, first of all you can note. So under no load condition, V voltage is applied to the DC shunt motor. So here DC shunt motor, the applied voltage is approximately 220 volts, which is constant, not variable. So and there is a input current, load current, that is IL, which is passed through the circuit, and it is divided as shunt field current as well as armature current. When we are keeping the variable rheostat at maximum point, so there is a very small current will pass through the field current, the maximum current pass through the armature. So at that condition, when armature current passes through the maximum current passes through the armature winding, the which is motor is will rotate under normal speed, means uh, maximum speed, n is equal to 1500 rpm approximately. So when and when which is rotate, we are applying load. When load is applied, you can observe that there is a variation in load current and as well as field current, similarly change in the speed is of the motor. So these observation we are observing, and these observation values, the readings, what value is measured by the voltmeter, by applying the load current, field current as well as speed, you can notate under load condition. First under no load condition, you can write, for example, V is 220 volts. Under no load condition, we are not applying any load. So V is 220 volt. Input current approximately 9 amperes. Actually, you can note the rated value of the DC shunt motor. So by below this value, you can note input current is like 9.3, 9.4 others ampere. And spring weight, both the springs are, we are not applying load, means both the springs they can shows the readings are 0 0. You can note here W1 and W2 show the value of 0 0. Speed is our maximum speed, so it means the machine is rotated under normal condition, so the under no load condition, and which is approximately 1500 rpm. So at that no load condition, machine is rotated at maximum speed. That race speed also you can rotate, and you can write n is equal to n value. And you can note radius of the rope, or what is the value you can calculate and you can write here only. So this total reading under no load operation we are noted. Second, when we are applying the load because of there is a brake drum which is connected to this spring and through the springs. And by varying this load, there is a changes we are observing, but voltage V is constant, that is 220 volt. Observing that when applying the load, the speed of the DC motor is decreases, load current is increases. The value increased value of the input current you can note in the second reading, approximately some 10 amperes, 10.5. Same, there is a change we will observe when applying the load. There is a change we are observing in the spring balances. So W1 is equal to 1, W2 is equal to 2.5 or 3.5, approximately you can note. So accurate value you can note, I am saying this is to approximate value. And speed is reduced. The speed also, at the normal condition, we are noted 1500 rpm heat. When we are applying the load, the speed will be changes to 1480 or 1470 rpm. That you can note it. And radius of the rope also, you can know that value you can write. So that approximately that values are 1, 2, 3, 4. By applying the load 4 or 5 times, there is a change in the load current. There is a change in the spring balance weights. There is a change in field current. There is a change in speed of the DC motor. You can note and calculate torque, power, input, and output power. We know that equation how to we can calculate the output power, that is using here. So that equation you can note. So here, under no load and when applying the load condition, all these values you are noted on the observation table. By took that graph, you can calculate the values of output power, input power. So here, the value of output power 1.02 into W1 minus W2 into N, input power VI, you can calculate these values and find the efficiency of the motor, DC motor for calculation and shown the performance point of view. You can calculate the efficiency of the motor by using these fundamental equation what I shown in the previous slide. They are all those equation you can use and you can calculate, and you can draw the performance characteristics of the brake test on DC motor. Right here, we are observing the characteristics and their performance of when we are conducting the brake test on DC shunt motor. So here one by one value we are noted. Under no load condition you are noted some values. Under load conditions also you are observing the some values. Under low load condition approximately you can calculate. So I can telling some approximate values. So no load condition voltage V is 220 volts, current I 9.3 amperes, spring balance W1 and W2 0, R is some 0.1. And next, when load is applied, there is change in the value you are observing. Reducing speed, increasing load current, field current, as well as change in the output power, input power we are observing. By using all these data, we can draw the performance characteristics. So there is this line which is having output. This is output. Output power in watts. So this is the torque line. Torque versus output power. You can draw the characteristics. So which is directly proportionally which is proportional. Then graph will start from here. Output power is changes. Torque is also changes. Next, you can see that speed versus output power. What I say, under no load condition, speed is maximum. When we are applying the load, speed decreases, load current decreases. Speed versus output power. So then under this condition, when output power is very less, the speed is maximum. Means zero. The speed is maximum. When load is applied, load current is increases, output power is also increases, but speed is slowly decreases. Shown this is the curve. You can show the curve. Speed versus output current. Load applied, output is increases, load current is increases, speed is decreases. Clearly, the characteristic is shown. Second curve, you can see that load current. We are already discussed when we are conducting the brake test on decision motor. When we are applying the load, there is a change in the load current, change in the speed we are observing. This means the speed is reduced, load current is increases. Where output current is versus load current, you can see there is a graph here. Output current, which is also in the output power, is increases, load current approximately, which is also increased, and you will get these characteristics. Load current versus output power. Next, what? Efficiency. How we will calculate the efficiency of the DC motor? Output power by input power into 100. So this is also most important one. It is also vary with respect to the variation of the output voltage, variation of the speed. So here you can say output power is increases, then the efficiency is also increased. Efficiency also increases. This is shown like this graph. Then this is the performance characteristics of DC shunt motor when we are conducting the brake test. Alright, once again I am remembering what I explained here. First of all, you can remember that circuit diagram before conducting. And what I say, when you are going to the laboratory, you must practice this circuit diagram. What are the operators is required? You can note their ranges. Voltmeter, if voltmeter is required, voltmeter range. Ammeter is required, ammeter range. Wattmeter is required, wattmeter range. Tachometer is required, tachometer range for calculation of the speed. And their ranges. All this rheostat, if is required rheostat, you cannot their capacity 50 ohms or 20 ohms or 500 ohms, 250 ohms. Availability of resistance depend upon the requirement. You can note all this. First one, voltmeter, ammeter, and tachometer. These are required. Tachometer. These are required for calculation of the speed. So when you know that, go through the test, connect the diagrams, and we have to discuss that. Under no load condition, we have noted the measuring values of voltage, field current, load current, and speed of the motor. When applying that load, there is a change in this measuring values of load current, field current, and speed. So here you can observe that under normal condition, speed is maximum. When applying the load, speed is variable, means reduced some value. By reducing the value of the speed, there is an increase in load current we have to observe. And already we can calculate their performance characteristics of efficiency versus output, speed versus output, load current versus output power. All these characteristics we have to draw. Next, I am going to discuss about problems on brake test. In a brake test, the effective load on the branch pulley was 38.1 kg. The effective diameter of the pulley is 63.5 cm and the speed 12 rps revolution per second. The motor took 49 ampere at 220 volt. Calculate the output power and the efficiency at this load. This is your problem. All of you here listen that when we are conducting brake test on a DC shunt motor, the load applied on the pulley was 38.1 kg and diameter of this pulley is 63.5 centimeters. The motor which is rotated 12 revolutions per second. And motor took load current that is 49 ampere at 220 volts. Calculate output power and the efficiency at this load. Means motor is rotating by applying the load. Now you can calculate the problem. First of all, you can note the data, whichever data is given, all this data you can write. You know the effective load means the difference between the two spring balance loads W1 minus W2, that is 38.1 kg weight. Radius which is given, actually diameter is given, can convert this into radius is equal to diameter by 2, 0.635 by 2, which is equivalent to 0.3175 meters. So you know the value of radius also. Therefore shaft torque 38.1 into 0.3175 kg meter. 1 kg meter is equal to 9.81 newtons. 9.81 into 38.1 into 0.3175 is equal to 118.6 Newton meter. Therefore, the shaft torque of the machine is 118.6 Newton meter. Power output is equal to torque into angular velocity in radians per seconds. But we don't know the value of the power output. We can calculate here the output power. Torque which is given and calculated that 118.6 Newton meter. Angular velocity is 2 pi n. N is revolution per second. So 2 pi into 12, the value is 8,945 watts. So you are calculated, that is the output power 8,945 watts. Now you are calculated the input power VI 220 into 49 amps. Therefore, efficiency is equal to output power by input power into 100, which is equal to 0.83 or 83% efficiency. The efficiency of the motor is 83%. So this is the calculation of problem when we are conducting the brake test. These are the values taken from the conducting the experiment. Next, we are conducting the brake test and we will get some reading when load applying. This will be changes in, we are observing the changes in the spring balance as well as current, load, speed, everything we are observed that. So related this one reading is given, you can note and calculate the values, output power and the efficiency. So here, all of you listen this problem. The following readings are obtained when doing a load test on a DC shunt motor using a brake drum. Spring balance reading is 10 kg and 35 kg. Diameter of the drum 40 centimeter. Speed of the motor 950 rpm. Applied voltage 200 volt. Line current 30 ampere. Then calculate the output power and the efficiency. Calculate the output power and the efficiency. So here you can note the readings when you are conducting these tests, that is W1 and W2, which is given 10 kgs and 35 kgs. Diameter of the drum is also given 40 centimeters. So you can note here D, R is equal to D by 2, 40 by 2 means 20 centimeters, convert this into meters. Speed of the motor is also given 950 rpm. The applied voltage is 200 volt, line current is 30 ampere. Calculate the output power and the efficiency. Let us see for solution. Therefore, force on the drum surface when we are applying the load on the drum, that is changing the spring, changing the voltage, the force F is equal to 35.8 is which is equal to 25 kg weight is applied. We know that 1 kg is equal to 9.81 watt value newtons. So 25 into 9.81. Drum radius 20 centimeters, 0.2 meters. Torque or shock torque F into R 25 into 9.8, 0.2. F is the force on the drum surface, that is 25 into 9.8 newtons, which is given. So here substitute at this point, get the equivalent value and you will get 25 to 9.8 and drum radius is 0.2 meters, 0.2, so which is equivalent to sharp torque is 49 newtons. There is a speed is given 950 revolution per minute converted to revolution per seconds, that is n is equal to 950 by 60, which is equivalent to 95 by 60 revolution per seconds. Omega is equal to 2 pi of 2 pi n. So 2 pi into 95 by 6, which is equal to 99.5 radians per second. This is the angular velocity in radians per second. Now you will get motor output T shock torque into angular velocity 49 value. Shock torque is 49. Angular velocity is 99.5. Now you will get the value 4876 watts. Motor input VI 200, I is 36,000 watts. So you are calculated output of the motor and calculated input of the motor. Now you will get and calculate the value of efficiency of this motor. Zeta is equal to output by input power. What is the output value here? 4876 watts. 4876 by 6000, which is equal to 0.813 or 81.3%. Next example one. All of you note this brake test values when we are conducting. Listen the problems. In a brake test on a DC shunt motor, the tension on the two sides of the brake were 2.9 kg and 0.17 kg. Radius of the pulley was 7 centimeter. Input current was 2 amps at 230 volt. The motor speed was 1500 rpm. Find the torque, power output and efficiency. Now you can solve this problem. Net force on the pulley is 2.90 minus 0.17, 2.73 kgs. 2.73 into 9.81, 26.78 Newton watts. This is the net force on pulley. All of it is clear? Note this problem. Next, calculate the torque. You know the torque which is equal to force into radius. Force we are calculating 26.78. Radius is 7 by 100 means 1.8746 Newton watt meters. Therefore, output power is equal torque into radius per seconds. Value of torque, net torque is 1.876 Newton watt meter. Substitute here and radius per second, that is 2 pi 1500 by 6 294 is equivalent to 294 watts. Therefore, efficiency is equal output power by input. 294 294 by VI 230 into 2, which is equal to 0.639%, 0.0%, 0.639. So therefore the efficiency is 63.9%. Therefore the efficiency is 63.9%. Here just to use the value here, the efficiency, when we are considering the efficient percentage, you can write here 63.9%. Next we are going to discuss about, and I will ask some few questions what we have to learn in the previous and present class in this period. Related questions I will ask. This is for your session questioning answer quiz questions. All of you understand this question and answer. For a machine tools, which DC motor can be used? A. DC series motor. B. DC shunt motor. C. DC cumulative compound motor. D. DC differential compound motor. Which one is the correct answer? All of you answer this question. For a machine tools, which DC motor can be used? Answer is B, DC shunt motor. Next question is, in a DC shunt motor, speed is related to armature current as dash A, directly proportional to the armature current, B, proportional to the square of the current, independent of armature current, inversely proportional to the armature current. Which one is the correct? Which answer from the ABCD, which one is correct? Answer D is the correct. Speed is inversely proportional to the armature current. Next, third question. In a DC shunt motor, for zero armature current, we get speed non-zero and minimum, zero, non-zero and maximum, does not depend on armature current. Does not depend on a armature. Which one is the correct answer? Non-zero and maximum. Answer is correct. That is, for zero armature current, we get some non-zero value indicated by positive intercept on speed characteristics. As armature current is increased, speed of DC shunt motor starts decreasing due to increase in voltage from the armature resistance. Next question is, what will be the effect of reducing load on DC shunt motor? A, speed will increase abruptly. B, speed will increase in proportion to reduction in load. Speed will remain almost constant. Speed will reduce. Which one is the correct answer from the ABCD? C answer is correct. Speed will remain almost constant. This is the correct answer. Now I am going to stop my session and all of you practice the circuit diagram of brake test on DC shunt motor, their performance characteristic, calculation table, observation table. First of all, you can understand about the how to conduct the test. Then you can learn more from the when you are going to do the experiment in your laboratory. Okay, and take the reading and calculate all the values of input power, output power, shaft torque, everything will calculate, and you can draw the performance characteristics. This will show the performance of the DC shunt motor when we are conducting the brake test. Thank you, all of you. Now I am going to stop my class.